Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Bricker Boom, and we are not going to have, at the moment, a weekly playthrough set this week. Instead, we had another D&D podcast, which I really enjoyed, except for this time, instead of DMs, it was players. So it was Atlas6570, my wife, Lady Bricker, Morticia Noir, and the Sharky Queen herself, Akio Ari. So, we talked just like we did with the DMs and had a lot of fun with it. So, I hope you enjoy the videos, and I will see you next time. Okay. And I know that it'll be a little bit more difficult, for, Baby Ankles and Ari to answer. What has been, your favorite class to play? Or, I guess for, Baby Ankles and Ari, what is one that you think that you would want to play after this? And what has been your least favorite? Because I can.
I honestly don't know. I still have been very naughty and haven't looked at everything, but I don't know. I feel like, I should be a halfling because I'm small, very small, but
Schmall.
I think being a cleric would be fun. That'd be pretty awesome. But also, I don't know, a bard is more my taste as well, so that's more like me. IRL, so maybe I'll lean in that direction.
Bard has been probably my favorite to play. The one that we're doing now, I do little song parodies and stuff like that because
Yes.
I can. Least favorite though, in all honesty, and I know that some people may come at me kind of situation, but if you do not choose the proper path as a warlock, I feel like it can be very boring just Eldritch blasting over and over again.
Makes sense.
What about you, Baby Ankles? Have you thought about what you may do if your paladin dies?
How dare you, for one.
Listen, that dog wanted blood. I can't help it.
That's another reason why I bought it, so that way I could at least have some sort of like ground rules. So if she decided to go back and get it, I could at least have this nice little contract set up so that little hellion would never see me again. But probably like some sort of DPS class or something, like a ranger or probably something to do with that. I don't think I'd ever really want to play rogue just because I don't stealth. I started blasting type of fella, but probably something to do with like a ranger or a hunter of some sort.
Okay, you might like and it depends on how many spells and stuff like that you would want, but you might like Druid, especially if you go Circle of the Moon. Later on, you get to basically turn into the Titans from Hercules.
The moon?
Do you like the moon?
Yeah,
Sold.
do you?
Cute.
What about you, Lady B? What class would you want to play, or what's been your favorite class, and what do you think of playing next?
As if you don't already know my favorite class.
Clearly it's Bard.
No,
hold on.
Listen,
Whoa.
I can't sing and do shit like that, okay?
Whatever. I don't even like this podcast.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, Clerics are my absolute favorite to play. Anytime there's like a heal bot option in a video game, I'm gonna go for it. So yeah, that's me. Another class I really enjoy playing is Barbarian. I like to smashy and whack my axe and stuff like that.
So many things I was about to say to that. And
yeah.
That.
The one class I did not enjoy playing was actually a ranger. We did that for a one shot with Ronifero.
I forgot about that you were.
Yeah. That was our level 21 shot. God, that was like 2 years ago, I think. And I think it was just a subclass that I picked. I can't remember what it was. It was something to do, like you were between the material plane and the Feywild, and I just,
yeah,
boring.
honestly, the reason that I forgot about that is just brief story time. The last campaign that I ran, one of the characters was playing a rogue, and the poor bastard could never roll above a 10. It was like getting a 1 was his favorite thing to do in life. And I just remember he came into this with his monk character and just nat 20 after nat 20. We decided then and there the character was cursed because we then went back to playing the campaign and it was just nat 1 city all over again. So that's why I don't remember, because I was too blown away at the time that he was actually able to get double digits. What about you, Tishy? What has been your favorite class or one that you want to play down the road as time goes along?
My favorite class, Barbarian. All the way. I like to run in headfirst Leroy Jenkins and just smash that shit.
Leroy Jenkins!
I'm going to point out too that Leroy Jenkins was a paladin. Have a good day.
Hey.
Oh, was he?
Okay.
He absolutely was.
That's incredible. So I never got super into WoW, which I think is the game that was being played for that. So yeah, I didn't know that. And now the chat is yelling Leroy Jenkins, as they should be.
I'm pretty sure I had to delete that from my sound alerts because it was way, way too loud.
Yeah.
Was
Even
it
with the
just...
volume down.
I remember. So this is my confession to you, Akio. For the longest time, you know how when somebody pops into the chat that you know and you do your little soundboard, the bah, 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 bah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It took me months and a lot longer than I'm proud of to realize that's a soundboard and not you doing that every single time.
I used to though. Like the first couple months I was streaming, I would make the noise, and I'm like, you know what? I have this handy dandy button system here. Why don't I just record myself doing that instead of doing it every time?
I legit had no idea. I remember I was like, how did she... Her lips didn't... Oh no, it's been a soundboard.
I'm a ventriloquist.
It's impressive. All right, this is a good question that Ronifero wants to know. Did any of you guys base your character off of a fictional icon? Or if not, what gave you the inspiration to kind of play the character and class that you chose?
Ooh.
Yeah, I can answer that one first while you guys think about it, because I've had the ability to think about it for a hot minute while talking to you guys. My character, the one that I'm currently playing in Ronifero's campaign, is one loosely based off of Aladdin. His name is Alphadon, Al for short. His patron is in fact a blue genie, and when I went with that, Ronifero decided to roll with it, and now that genie says hello like Robin Williams whenever he gets the opportunity. As for Cass, the bard that I'm playing, that is a complete brainchild. Nothing, at least I don't think it's based off of any type of media or fictional character or anything like that. It's just something that came up with. What about you, Atlas?
So, in terms of the class, the reason why I decided to play a paladin was, again, my biggest RPG in my life has always been World of Warcraft. It sucked a lot of my
Jesus.
life away from 2005 until somewhat recently. We won't go into it. In terms of the
Lawsuits,
backstory,
I'm guessing.
what's that?
I'm assuming the lawsuits that they've been going through.
No, it's been pretty trash game for a while now.
Okay.
Mostly because it's basically plays as a very expensive $15 a month cell phone game.
Fair. I
Um,
tried with the pandas. Wasn't that an expansion?
yes, that was
Yeah.
2008, 9,
Yeah,
10, something like that.
That's when I tried.
It was a good time too, but Wrath of the Lich King was the best time to play, and it's coming back actually in WoW Classic here soon. I will be gone from the server for a very long time, sucking my life away from that.
Fair.
But
Thanks for the warning.
so that's you're welcome. But that's the reason why I chose the class. In terms of the background story, though, I'm in the middle of reading or listening to The Wheel of Time again, and one of my favorite characters in The Wheel of Time was a blacksmith, and so that I incorporated that into the background of my character and why he does what he does, some of what he does. So I thought that was pretty fun.
Nice. Just out of curiosity, with that being the case, then, do you think? Oh, hold on for a moment. Hello, Toasty Bats. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're having a great time. We're just sitting here chatting about D&D. So, with that being the case, then, do you think that like the next character that you end up building, is going to be based off of some sort of fictional work, or are you going to try to kind of play outside the norm, outside something that you normally wouldn't play as?
If I'm being completely honest, I don't know. I don't really think that far, especially since I'm having so much fun with this character.
Makes
I
sense.
don't really want to think so far that my paladin's gonna die. So, I know it could be an inevitability, but at the same time, I haven't really honestly given it much thought. If I'm being completely honest.
Makes sense. Okay. What about you, Tishy?
My characters are not based off of people, or I like ideas, I should say. They're all
They're
things
not real
I
people.
they're not real people. No, they're all things that I thought of and created
Okay.
myself,
Okay.
and I'm super attached to them.
Yeah, honestly, and I hate it because I know that Sopo is watching this, but he is literally hearing every single one of us go, I'm attached to my character, and I can hear the wheels turning from here of, oh, how can I emotionally hurt them as time goes along? What about you, Ari? Who did you base your character off of, if anybody?
Not really based off of anyone. I just kind of went with as I was like going through and picking and choosing. I just wanted something that was absolutely not at all like me. So again, am small and small brain. So I'm like tall giant elf who can make magic with her hands. Let's do that. Which again, like maybe inspired a tiny bit by Lord of the Rings because as we all know, like all the elves are pretty cool. And I'm like, well, I'm small and not tall, so I would like to do the magics and things. And I
Okay.
guess that I would relate that to Gandalf, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking about this after the fact.
So,
But really, just different from, like, just me IRL. That way I could get out of my comfort zone a little bit
no, that makes
and try something
sense.
different.
Do you think, with your next character, same type of question, do you think you're gonna end up, looking more into, um, like a fictional character that you already know, or are you just gonna go way out in left field?
Knowing me, probably way out in left field.
I mean, you named your wizard Sharkira, which I think is pretty evident that yeah, you're gonna be a little out there.
Always.
And you know what? We're okay with that. What about you, Lady B? Have you based any of because you've had quite a few characters now? Have you based any of them off of any type of fictional work or stolen from anybody or any books, video games, anything like that?
Nope, they're just ideas from my head.
Okay. I'll be honest, I kind of want at some point, just because I do have such a respect for the game, I kind of want to play a character loosely based around Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn at some point or another. Oh my god. Um,
Ooh.
just she's badass, she's sassy. I am sassy. Not so much on the badass. It's fine, but I got the sass. It's fine. Okay, let's see. So, chat, real quick, in regards to this, especially since we do have some people here, I didn't expect to exhaust all questions so quickly. This is much less of a train wreck as the first one, which the first one was still fun. We sang the J.G. Wentworth song. Um, but what questions would you want to ask the players, if anything? Ooh. Okay. So Candy Haunt wants to know, and I kind of like this. And I'll also go ahead and do both. What has been the most underwhelming fight or the most overwhelming fight? And by that I mean both. Um, yeah, that could be fun. Don't hurt my feelings, the people that I've DM'd before. Unless it's Ron Furrows, then by all means, go ahead and hurt his feelings.
That damn Hydra.
Was that the overwhelming one?
Yes.
Yeah, we ended up having a Hydra, and the Hydra abilities are kind of disgusting, and the gnome went out of wild shape to bring the cleric back up, and I think I want to say suffered 8 attacks at once, 3 of which were a critical, and I kind of felt bad, but I also felt really powerful at the time. It's fine. What about you, Tishy? Underwhelming and overwhelming fight.
Overwhelming was actually my last session that I played with my Barbarian. Um, we technically were not supposed to find this creature. We were not supposed to fight it at all, and yet we did, and we were stupidly like, "Yeah, let's fight this." And we
That's fair.
all almost died. We went down so many times. Oh, I
I
don't even remember what it was.
I think for me and this was one that I DM'd, but I think the most underwhelming fight that I had was the battle that I had set up the players with against 2 dragons, because they figured out how to ground both of them with one of the relics that I had given them that I thought that they would have expended at a much earlier date, because that's who they are as people, but they managed to keep a hold of the item until near the very end, and I'm this bit like badass black dragon, but I can't fly. It's fine. I can't do anything. I just have to wait. What about you? I know, Baby Ankles, you don't have as much experience with the underwhelming, overwhelming yet, but how have you felt about the fights thus far? How do you like D&D combat better yet?
I mean, it's good. It's different, because you're kind of just mostly relying on what other people are doing and listening and trying to react to what they do. You know how Tessa likes to just go on blasting and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't have like anything that's super under or overwhelming right now because I've only been in 2 total fights.
That's fair.
But it's been fun so far. I mean, you guys have definitely kept it interesting with
Good.
evil satanic dogs and killing gods already too. So
Listen, I can't help that I'm a badass at level 2. What about you, Ari? What has been the most underwhelming or overwhelming, or again, both fight that you may have had?
Um, well, I haven't, in my last session, I did not experience any underwhelming fights. They were all kind of nail biters, but most overwhelming, I would say, was probably the very last fight of the campaign. I don't remember exactly what we were fighting. I think it was I'm gonna get it wrong again. I need to do my homework here, but a mage and a what's the opposite of that? Um, 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 crap.
A fighter,
I don't want to say like
barbarian,
no.
like
They called it like anti something or I can't remember.
anti-mage or
Is it that simple?
mage? Is it I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Mage slayer.
I can't remember again. I totally have short term memory loss, but
Small
so I had used a fireball and I was really excited because I took several people out, and then all of a sudden I definitely pissed someone off
brain.
and they attacked me. I don't
As they
remember what
do.
attack, as they do, attacked me, and then after that I was one tap. I was just schlunked over on the floor, and I'm like, oh great, this is when I die at the very end. So this is how
I
it
mean,
ends.
at least it was the very end and not the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
that was definitely overwhelming because we were all, I think everyone in our campaign except maybe one person was really really hurting, and I'm like, are we all gonna die? And there was a golden dragon downstairs that I wanted to enlist for help because he was nice, but we didn't have time for such things.
Not with that attitude.
No.
I know, and this is a question from the chats as well, because that's where we are. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. But somebody is wondering, what is the worst outcome you've had from the deck of many things? I don't know if anybody else has. There are 2 examples I can think of. One happened to the cleric, the redhead that's on camera right now. she drew a card and got transported to a different plane of existence, being held by two very, very powerful demon creatures. The other one that I can think of is shortly before the last fight of the game, the Druid ended up pulling a card that disintegrated all of her weapons, armor, basically everything on her person. And Ronifero, if I remember correctly, you're in here hanging out right now. Didn't you have to use the wish spell to bring back her equipment? You did. Okay, fantastic. He was already typing that out. Tishy or Ari, have either of you had a run-in with the deck of many things yet?
No.
No.
Oh, I can't wait till you do. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's one of those
It's
things
fun.
that, yeah, it very rarely, as the chat is pointing out, it never works out, or very rarely does, but it's just so damn fun. It's so incredible. Sopo said it's not gonna happen in his game.
Yay!
Okay, what goals and directions are you hoping that your characters will take? Or is there a specific storyline that you guys are wanting to complete? I know for me, example, with my Tabaxi Rogue, his mission is mostly done. He's free, and he's freed his genie. For Cass, he just wants to be famous. He's got that one-track mind. I'm hoping so for those that don't know, his parents are truly terrible, and I am just waiting for them to break his heart. And Sopo knows because he's the DM, but I cannot wait for my character to be emotionally devastated because I want to see what type of growth comes from that. But what about the rest of you? Is there anything specific that you guys want to do with your character as they continue to grow and level up?
Probably explore my backstory that I'm not going to go into because I know
Makes
Sopa
sense.
said he wants to add a few things that I put in the backstory into the actual story itself. So excited to see where that goes because he's super cool and awesome and good looking.
And that beard. What about you, Tishy?
For the one we do with Sopo, definitely I want to have her backstory, peaked at pretty much. But for my barbarian, I want her to find her birth parents.
Oh, okay. So she's never met her parents. She has no idea what they look like. Nothing.
Okay. So her thing is she wandered off from them when she was really small. So she does not remember much of them, and she was raised by two loving orcs.
Aw.
So, yeah.
Was one of them Torque?
No, I mean, Jesus.
Listen, that man, he
He's
is
great.
rolling in the money by now.
I love Torque.
We have made that man very rich very quickly. What about you, Lady B? Anything that you want for your characters? I know you can't say much about the campaign with Sopo, but what about your new girl?
Okay, so for my Padulkan Wildfire Druid, we actually just found out some of her backstory this past weekend. Yeah. I think the goal for her is just to be accepted by where she is from her hometown. And then eventually finding that place where people like her reside, so two goals. That's all I can think of for that one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go much in the Soaps campaign because I don't want you guys to know anything about her. And then I think for Onifero's campaign, the one where my character is not Aloy, I did see that comment. Amma, the Barbarian, I think we know her goal is just to liberate the village that her evil grandma runs. She just basically wants to free everybody from there, from that rule.
Makes sense. All right. What about you, Akio? Anything? I know that your campaign technically ended, but what was your character striving for, and did they get it?
Yes. So Sharkira, basically, she was orphaned very young, so she doesn't have any family. She kind of was a loner, was looking for adventure. That's how she ended up in Waterdeep. I think she definitely made some great friends, had lots of adventures, and now she opened up a little cafe inside of a tavern that serves lots of bacon,
Oh,
and she gives out free meals to those who can't pay for them. So she's a bit of a softie now, but I think she definitely wants to go on more adventures, and I'd really like to get more into her backstory about, like, how her actual childhood was and how she ended up where she was, because again, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into it like I wanted or should have. So and I think she's just too silly and too much of a shit stir to be happy just staying in one place for too long. So I feel like she's definitely going to make a reappearance some way or another.
she tackles the rowdy patrons.
Yeah.
She's like 50% success rate, baby.
Throws bacon at people,
It's great.
as a distraction.
And make sure, if you haven't yet, follow me on www.twitch.tv/brickerboom. Love you guys. Hello!